The Phoenician Scheme, the latest from Wes Anderson. Here is a bleary-eyed, fresh out of the theater, probably getting all the names and facts about the films wrong, but why does that ever stop anybody from talking about anything in front of a camera? So, Wes Anderson, I can take or leave Wes Anderson. Overall, I like Wes Anderson's films, and some I've liked more than others, and I've always felt like he has this amazing sense of visuals and pace and style and delivery, and that is certainly present in abundance in the Phoenician Scheme. It is a film ostensibly about Benicio del Toro is this fairly unscrupulous, wealthy businessman, wheeler and dealer who lives in a giant mansion with 9 or 10 sons and one daughter who has gone off to become a nun, and he is trying to reconnect with that daughter because endlessly people are making attempts on his life, and he would like that daughter to be his heir. The daughter has some past beefs with him in that she's not very close to him, and she has heard from, they say, that perhaps her father murdered her mother, one of 3 wives that he has had, all of whom have passed away, all of whom are alleged to have been murdered by him. And it's a quirky, goofy comedy with, human undertones done in that Wes Anderson style where it takes place, I forget now, somebody will correct me, it takes place, I believe, sometime in the late 50s, mid 40s, late 40s to mid. See, this is what I talk about. No facts. I don't have any notes for this. It takes place sometime that brings to mind, shall we say, the late 40s to the early 60s. It takes place around the world, where the basic idea here is the titular Phoenician Scheme is this big land deal, this big project, industrial project that the Benicio del Toro character, whose name, either first or middle name is Zsa Zsa in the film, is trying to undertake, and he has all of these agreements with all of these people, and he's trying to get them to agree to something, and it's like 5 different groups of people he has to visit. So he and his daughter and the tutor he has hired in the form of Michael Cera, who seems to be a Swede, I believe, who is there to teach him about insects, him and his children about insects. They all go on this worldwide tour. Whirlwind tour of visiting all these people, all of whom are portrayed by very interesting, really good actors, including but not limited to Bryan Cranston, Tom Hanks, and more. Again, I'm very tired, which you can probably hear in the voice, and that will come into play in a moment too. So it is a whirlwind tour. Scarlett Johansson is in the film. A lot of people that have been part of the ever-growing Wes Anderson repertory company, as well as just really good international actors. And it is a very quirky film, as you would expect from Wes Anderson. It is a very funny film. There are moments of really goofy humor and slapstick and more than one person exploding over the course of the film, and very precise in that Wes Anderson way, where everything is very precisely laid out and structured and framed and executed. It is not a widescreen film. Yeah, I was going to say it's 1:3:3 or 4:3. It's not. It's a bit wider, 1:6:6. I'm not great with my aspect ratios. I can tell you what a 1:8:5 looks like. I can tell you what a 1:3:3 and what a 2:3:5. And beyond that, I'm going to be inaccurate, as I always am with everything else. But it is, let's say, it is rather more square than widescreen, this film, but every inch of the frame is utilized very, very well. Colors are gorgeous. The music is very well selected. It's a very carefully constructed film, a very well made film, down to the very end credits, where the credits like twitch or move in time with the orchestral piece that's being played. What did I think of the film? So I'm going to admit this. I work at a drive-in theater. The nights are very long. Sometimes if I camp out or sleep on the property after a show that has been very long and the sun comes up very early, what I'm saying is I was very tired watching this film. So I was a little in and out during this film, which I'm going to admit, and that always obviously impacts your enjoyment of the film. I thought it was very good. I thought it was very funny. It felt to me like, and maybe it's because I'd seen the trailer so often, the vibe of Wes Anderson, especially in this film, but I think for a while now. Remember the old FedEx films that were done in the 80s? I wish I knew the artist's name, the director's name. There was a director who directed a spate of ads in the 80s, and everybody, mostly non-actors, he directed the famous Wendy's Where's the Beef commercial. A lot of non-actors, a lot of very deadpan looks. Those were always very precisely created as well, and very snappy fast dialogue. That I got that feel in this film, and the trailer certainly sells that and is fairly rapidly edited. I almost felt like the movie felt a little sluggish because it was not as rapidly paced, and you can't sustain that for very long if you try to pace things that quickly. But my impression, and again, I was very tired while I was watching this. My impression was that it felt a little sluggish to me, like it could have moved along. Like the dialogue and the performances were very low key with this specific dialogue, but not more intercutting with some of the scenes caused some of that dialogue to feel a little flatter than it would have been otherwise if it was being cut back and forth. At any rate, as I keep saying, very funny. Grenades play a large role in this film. You have, again, very interesting casting, very interesting everything, every aspect of it visually, the decor, the set design, the locations, how it's framed, excellently done. Thinking of the last few Anderson films, I really enjoyed Grand Budapest Hotel. I thought that was an excellent classic slapstick movie, really. French Dispatch I didn't enjoy quite as much, and Phoenician Scheme, I think I would what was the Asteroid City? It's called Asteroid City. I quite enjoyed that one, almost more for visuals than anything else. That had a faster pace than this one did, so I felt like the pacing was a little off in this film. But again, I have to say, every time I say that, it could have been because I was really, really tired while I watched it. So anyway, if you're a Wes Anderson fan, you're probably going to love it. If you're a normal person, and I saw this at a 16 screen, it's really literally right over there, a 16 screen AMC, and it was for an 11 a.m. on a Sunday, it was a pretty healthy audience, and people were into it and laughing. So I don't know if that was just the art house crowd went to see this at an AMC, or if the strip mall crowd or the, multiplex crowd is more amenable to these movies now than they once were. But at any rate, I did enjoy it. In theaters now, Wes Anderson's The Phoenician Scheme.